At this point, overpowered MCs have become a trademark for isekai anime, and isekai anime just doesn't feel complete without an unbeatable character going to town, full on rage mode and unleashing hell on his or her foes. Welcome back to Animeology. Today we'll be taking a look at some of the most overpowered isekai main characters ever. Number 9. Seiya Ryuuguuin, Cautious Hero. Quite evident from the name, this anime series revolves around a hero who is overpowered yet quite cautious. In the world of Gaia Brand, where a novice goddess Restarte is placed in charge of saving the world from the hands of the Demon Lord. Among the thousands of worthy candidates, the one she goes for is a Seiya Ryuuguuin, a fighter whose stats are way higher in comparison to others, but here's the catch, he's overly cautious about everything, even her. To be on the safe side, our cautious hero trains day and night to always be ready for the toughest of opponents. The fact is, all of his strength is related to his cautious nature. This characteristic forces him to think of every possible scenario, training for every possible threat. All that training pays off when they finally enter the Demon Lord's territory. Brimming with vicious creatures, Seiya is pitted against a plethora of monsters whom he easily bests thanks to his endless training. During his boss fight with Chaos Machina, who uses up almost all of her energy and power to come toe-to-toe with Seiya, but nonetheless, Seiya proves to be too much even for the Demon Lord. With a single hand, he blocks her attack without even a morsel of effort kept in it. Chaos Machina resolves to her final attack, using the demonic curse to transform into a monster. But alas, the cautious hero wraps things up by unleashing Phoenix Drive with his magic sword, slicing up the proud Chaos Machina into tiny pieces, and scattering her ashes into the air. Number 9. Diablo, How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. After getting summoned to a fantasy world resembling the game he played religiously, our protagonist Takuma finds himself inside the body of his in-game avatar Diablo. When Ram and Shira, the two maidens that summoned Takuma, try to enslave him with magic, the spell backfires and they both end up getting enslaved instead. With them by his side, Diablo begins his new adventure as the level 150 Demon Lord. Following the Demon Lord handbook, Diablo shows no mercy when it comes to the unfortunates who try messing with him. Something similar happens to an army of fallen when they try to invade a castle under Diablo's protection. Failing to heed his final warning, the commander of the fallen, Edelgard, charges at Diablo with her strongest attack, Sacrificial Charge. Diablo remains unfazed as the smoke clears and simply shrugs his shoulders. When it's his turn, he unleashes a massive white nova, wiping out the entire army in one fell swoop. Number 7. Tanya Degurechaff, Saga of Tanya the Evil. An atheist salaryman who doesn't believe in the existence of God and condemns anyone or anything that does. He later gets reincarnated as an orphan girl named Tanya and thrown into her tornado problems to make him come back to God for forgiveness. Tanya truly embodies never judging a book by its cover. Even in the form of a little girl, Tanya proves to be a prodigy in both strategic and magical endeavors. Her lack of physical strength does little to hinder her progress in going up the ranks, because her tactics, manipulation, and mid-air warfare more than make up for it. Her ability to maneuver herself mid-air gives her an edge over others, and combine that with her agility and we have ourselves an unstoppable 9-year-old. Tanya had a total of 62 kills and 32 assists, even before joining War College. Number 6. Sadao Maou, Devil is a Part-Timer. On the verge of conquering Inte Isla, things take a wrong turn for Maou when he's bested by the hero Milia and forced to teleport to another world. Unfortunately, upon reaching Earth, the almighty Satan finds out that due to the lack of mana here, he is unable to return. Now trying to survive without causing a commotion, the once conqueror of realms starts his part-time job at a fast food place, which definitely is not McDonald's. Though quite harmless in his human form, Satan possessed quite a number of overpowering moves like mind control, extreme regeneration, teleportation, and much more. The lack of mana on Earth hinders him from tapping into his satanic potential, but when he's needed the most, Maou pulls through and gracing us with only a small fragment of his true strength. In his battle against Lucifer, even with a hole in his chest, Maou finds a way to save everyone. By absorbing all the negative human emotion erupting from the destruction, Maou regains some of his powers and delivers an almighty ass-whooping to Lucifer. Number 5. Ainz Ul Gaon, Overlord. As his favorite RPG is being shut down forever, our protagonist, Suzuki Satoru, decides to stay on until the server shuts down, only to get trapped as his avatar, the necromancer Ainz Ul Gaon. The Dark Lord discovers that he is devoid of any human emotions and now seeks to conquer the new world that he's trapped in. Ainz's strength is overwhelming from the very beginning. No enemy of his has ever been able to lay a finger on him before burning to smithereens. And if his power wasn't enough, his generals too are a force of nature. This demonic entity is capable of easily wiping out over 100,000 men with only one move, which he does as a tribute to dark fertility. The Dark Lord lets out a wave of dark clouds that kills the soldiers, only to transform into a demonic creature that rampages over the rest. Fear and despair are the two things that Ainz cherishes the most. Number 4. Sora and Shiro, No Game, No Life. Sora and Shiro, two Hikikomori step-siblings, are addicted to online gaming and have remained undefeated. One day, they receive a challenge to a game of chess by Tet. The brother-sister duo easily win the game, and that is when they are automatically summoned to a real world known as Discord. Discord? No, that's Discord, not Discord, whatever. Sora and Shiro's overpowered abilities lie not in their physical strength, but in their impeccable gaming skills. Sora is a very cunning guy who possesses high manipulative skills, while Shiro completes him with their crazy calculated strategies. This brother-sister duo relies solely on the power of their brains rather than brawn. Their fight with Izuna perfectly demonstrates her overwhelming strategic prowess. Sora and Shiro appear to be cornered by Izuna's beastly powers after a terrifying game of trying to shoot each other in the head. However, moments before the game's conclusion, the entire tide of the game shifts when it's revealed that everything that has undergone since the beginning has been under their control. They manipulated Izuna into a position where Steph easily shot and defeated her. Number 3. Naofumi Iwatani. The Rising of the Shield Hero. Naofumi is depicted as an easygoing Japanese youth who gets summoned into a parallel world to become one of the cardinal heroes. Unlike the other heroes, Naofumi isn't really the strongest fighter, but that doesn't break his resolve to stand at the top, as he trains his ass off to become better by the minute. After getting wrongfully accused of assault, a disgraced Naofumi does everything in his power to attain immeasurable strength that would allow him to force his foes to their knees. As time goes on, the shield shows us its true powers, allowing Naofumi to grace us with his most ultimate attack. In his fight against the Pope, the shield hero protects his comrades against the Pope's wrath, who shows no signs of tiring. Luckily, the other heroes manage to buy some time, giving Naofumi the chance to use his blood sacrifice, an attack that requires him to sacrifice a huge portion of his blood, but in return, he's able to summon a demon from the pits of hell. The demon devours the Pope and drags him back to hell where he belongs. Good riddance. Number 2. Rimuru Tempest. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. The protagonist for this series is Satoru Mikami, an ordinary 37-year-old corporate worker who gets stabbed and then reincarnates as a slime in another world. Using his crazy ability of gluttony, Rimuru quickly makes his way to the top of the food chain. His strength earns him the respect of many, including the goblins, for which he then provides names for. Rimuru faces many challenges in his way, getting even stronger with every hurdle. Though his most challenging decision comes when his nation is infiltrated and many of his companions meet their end at the hands of the enemy, to save them from the cruel fate of death, Rimuru mercilessly slays an army of enemy soldiers, absorbing their life force to become a demon lord. This newly found strength allows Rimuru to stand against one of the demon lords, Clayman, enabling him to take revenge for all the horrible acts against his beloved nation. Number 1. Kirito, Sword Art Online.
あんたが俺んちに
Surprised? Probably not. Driven by the desire to complete Aincrad and return to his family, the Black Swordsman solos every monster that comes in his path, gaining enormous amount of skills in the process. Being the beta tester for the game, it doesn't take Kirito very long to fully comprehend the danger that the game poses. And so he does everything in his reach to attain the highest rank, to become the greatest player in the entirety of the game. He comes close to achieving the so-called overpoweredness when the dual wielding skill is added to his arsenal. Using this skill and the weapons he attained, such as the legendary Excalibur, Kirito becomes an unstoppable force, feared throughout Aincrad as the legendary solo swordsman. His avatar reaches such a level that during his confrontation with the notorious Titan Gain, he just stands there, taking all their attacks like a Chad. But out of all his abilities, the most fascinating strength Kirito possesses is his will. A will so strong, so resolute, that even the game's creator, Kayaba, is unable to hold him back. Kirito somehow manages to defy the laws set by Kayaba and beats the game by setting his blade right through Kayaba's chest.